We are back on Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio, News Talk 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KRI, now in Albuquerque, New Mexico on 1000 KKIM, and also 3 times a week, count them, on the internet nationwide through knookmedia.com. Our guest in studio, a friend of the program, Wendy Porter from the Wounded Heroes Fund, not to be confused with the Wounded Warriors Fund.
I know. It's confusing.
It is confusing. Well, we have a lot of great organizations out there.
We do. And these veterans wouldn't be able to get all the things they need if you didn't have these organizations, these grassroots efforts trying to fill in the gaps. So, Yeah,
it's important. But again, we want to make it a clear distinction here, because we want to make sure that the money's donated stay here in Kern County for our veterans.
Correct.
So
if you are wanting to make a donation to a veteran organization that's helping veterans, and you want to keep that money local, that would be Wounded Heroes Fund. There's some other great veteran organizations that we work with, CVAF, Armed Forces Support Riders. There's a lot of, so just check them out. Honor Flight is another
Honor Flight's
great
fantastic.
one. We work very closely with Honor Flight, and so just check them out. If you want your local dollars to stay local, check out the organization before you make that donation.
Yeah. And Lily does a great job. You and I are both at that banquet, and they send World War II veterans and Korean War veterans to Washington.
They do, and Wounded Heroes Fund on every one of their flights tries to send a young veteran as a guardian because it's very therapeutic for them.
Oh,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
Now, in fact, let's talk a little bit about that. One of the people you sent in the last flight was Wesley.
Wesley Barrientos, yep. He's a double amputee, has 3 Purple Hearts. We were able to help him during his recovery, and we helped build him a house, and now he's doing awesome. He's on our board of directors, giving back to other wounded veterans, and he's gotten really big into the Paralympic hockey, the sled hockey.
Has he really?
So, he is a monster on it right now, so passionate about it, and his goal is in 4 years to be on the USA Paralympic hockey team.
And and
if
Wesley,
anyone can do it, he can do it.
He's the kind of guy that could do it. He with Jeremy, he did that cross the country bike ride, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So
pedaled across the United States with his hands.
With his hands, incredible. So Wesley's. He's a great example of what you guys can do. You built him a house and helped him out. Had it not been for your organization, God only knows what would have happened to Wesley.
Yeah. Well, we did partner with Homes for Our Troops, so that was nice that there were two organizations, Homes for Our Troops being a national organization. And they only build one house per city, and we actually got lucky. They built 2 houses here in Bakersfield, but they won't be building a third. So we have another young double amputee named Jeremiah, and he doesn't have a whole lot to come back home to other than his wife and kids. So, and he's really young and has really young kids. And so we wanted to go ahead and step up to the plate and make sure he had a home to come home to.
And what's going to happen July 4th?
Well, we did the groundbreaking on September 11th, and on July 4th, we will be having a key ceremony and presenting Jeremiah and his family with their brand new house.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's incredible what you guys do, Wendy. It's just, what a ministry and what an organization you guys have.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, but we have a great contractor, Jim Ward, who was actually the contractor for Wesley's house, and he's a veteran himself, and he has stood up and taken this on and has just done an incredible job. The house is coming together. It's beautiful. We still have some things that need to be completed. We still need some help on some things, but it's going to be a great home for him to come home to.
Yeah,
and it's right down the street from Wesley's.
Oh, is it really?
It is.
Okay,
it's on the same street. We wanted to try to get them so that he had a support system to come home to.
That's a great neighborhood, too.
Yeah,
I love that neighborhood.
It really is a good neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a good place to be. I've got if I don't mention this, I'll probably get in trouble next Wednesday, but you've got a great board, too, and I know 2 people that I'm in a B&I group with are on the board, Terry and Greg Benders.
Yes, well, Greg is not on the board, but Terry is on the board. Yes.
Well, you've got the better of the 2 on the board.
Thank
so
you
that's
very
no
much. I agree.
And Greg will probably be listening to this on
Probably.
Saturday.
I'll get in trouble.
You and I both. So, and you've got Wesley on the board, so that's fantastic too. Now, you've got some other projects that you've been involved in over the years. I know you've got a project at Camp Pendleton. Talk a little bit about that one.
Well, they have Marine Corps trials, so it's like Olympic trials for the wounded Marines. So they're trying out for the Wounded Olympic ceremony, Olympics. And so we go down and we feed them on their closing ceremony dinner. We do that every year. So we're feeding like 550 wounded Marines.
Wow.
And then we try to go. We have two of our double amputees are right now down at Balboa Naval Hospital. So we'll probably try to sneak down there sometime this summer and do a barbecue down there at the Naval Hospital, and that'll be our third or fourth one down there. So
the Naval Hospital in San
Diego. Yeah. So we try to. We've been to Walter Reed. We've been to Brooke Army Medical Center, and have done barbecues and fed the wounded warriors and their families and the staff that takes care of them. If we find out there's somebody from Kern County, we try to get out there and show them, the support, and that they've got a support system built in already when they come home. So
we're having a conversation with Wendy Porter from the Wounded Heroes Fund. So is fundraising, has it been consistent for you guys, or is it slowing down at all?
It's slowing down, and it makes you a little nervous because, like we were talking about earlier, the war is not getting that much, media attention anymore, so it's not in the front of people's minds as much. But yet we have a lot of people that are going to be coming home that are going to need Wounded Heroes Fund. So we're, I think we were talking about the billboard. We've never paid for advertising before, but we went ahead and stepped up and put up a billboard, and we're looking into some other ways of advertising. We're getting excellent deals, unheard of deals. But we want to try to, we've got to keep it foremost in people's minds that we've got these people that are coming home that are going to need us. And some of them are going to have big needs, and we want to make sure that we're going to be able to take care of them.
Sure. It's one of those things when it comes to wounds. I was watching a program the other day on the Civil War, and the type of weapon that they used and the type of bullet they had, it just created situations where you had a lot of amputees. And we have that same scenario in this war because of the roadside bombs that they're using. They blow up a Jeep and take the poor guy inside with it. So you're having a lot of these kind of wounds, a lot of people that are amputees, double amputees. So there's a great need there, and as you say, the need hasn't gone away just because
it hasn't gone away. And I think one of our biggest wounds that's coming home is the hidden wounds. The wounds that aren't obvious.
Yes.
They're coming home with horrible anxiety and PTSD and traumatic brain injury, and you don't see those, so you maybe don't realize that they're really suffering. And so we're really, that's going to be probably one of our biggest needs for Wounded Heroes Fund, is helping to, make sure that everyone gets treated, not just the ones with the visible wounds.
I teach a couple nights over at University of Phoenix. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I teach media and its influence on society, critical thinking, and then I teach a public speaking class. And there's a lot of veterans in each one of the classes, and we
had a few of our board members have gone through there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, but it's interesting talking to these guys, and I can always tell what is and isn't going on with them, and as far as some of them haven't really come to grips with what they've gone through yet, and there's a little work. I've sat and talked with a couple of them after class, and it's you can tell that they're still coming to grips with the experience and trying to work back into society, and it's not easy to do.
Going from military life to civilian life is hard on its own, and then throw in some combat, some horrible things seen, and an injury, and it's almost impossible to do on your own.
Sure. Yeah.
So hopefully if you come across this, you'll refer them to Wounded Heroes Fund if they need us.
That's not a bad idea, because I haven't thought of you in terms of the psychological end of it, but I definitely will.
Good. Yeah, don't forget us.
Well, when you came in the studio today, you were working on a case of an individual who needed food and gas.
Yeah, we have a veteran who's in dire emergency situation right now, struggling very badly with anxiety, and we're in the process of getting him, right as we speak, my assistant is getting him a gift card to Winco and some gas.
Wow, fantastic. Now, can people show up at this event on July 4th?
Absolutely. The more the merrier, welcoming Jeremiah at his home. Yeah, it'll be July 4th at 9 a.m. We'll have the website. I'll come in or call in and give you all that information, and we'll have it on our website and on our Facebook, too, the address.
And the phone number is 661-328-8600.
That's it.
Okay, and it's 9 o'clock on the 4th. That would be a great event to be at, just to, like you say, welcome him home and give him the keys to his new house.
Yeah, yay!
Yeah, fantastic. Wendy, thank you so much for what you do, and you have
welcome.
An open mic anytime you want to come here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I like coming down here.
Good. You're fun to have. We'll see you in 167 hours on Taking Care of Business on Kern Radio News Talk 1180.